The automotive world of GTA is by no exaggerations one of the fan-favorite parts of the game. Being such an integral part of the overall GTA experience, the car scene understandably also holds a lot of cool information. Whether it's cool little Easter eggs, forgotten racing events from the 1970s, or the most eerie little details about the car industry, this first ever Automotive Iceberg truly covers it all. If you clicked on this video, it's most likely you already know how the Iceberg videos work. However, just in case you didn't, the more known topics are at the start, near the surface level. As we head further down, the topics get less and less mainstream, with the last tier being the dark deep waters, in which I am sure that the topics are new for even the most hardcore GTA fans. So without further ado, let's start off with the Iceberg. Tier 1. The Niobe sound. The Übermacht Niobe is a sports car that was added to GTA Online as part of the bottom dollar bounties update. It has quickly become one of the more popular sports cars in the game, even having an HSW version of it in the game. Players who own this car may have noticed that the car makes a weird bling sound when turned on. This is actually a reference to the real-life car BMW i8, which also makes a very similar sound to that of the Niobe. There is a theory out there that a rapper by the name of XXXTentacion, who owned the BMW i8 and actually got shot in the very same car in 2018, included the car's start sound as part of his famous song Sad. Unfortunately, I cannot include the song in the video because of copyright issues, but you can go and take a listen to it in the upper right corner. Because of that, many players believe that the Niobe is an homage to the young rapper's death. Curb glitching. Curb glitching is a feature that has been in the game since the launch of it in 2013. However, it became more mainstream with the addition of stunt races. If a player decides to drive a car on a curb, logically it should slow the car down, but for some weird mechanical reason in GTA Online, this actually makes the car go faster. This is the sole reason why you can often see players riding on the curbs in many of the stunt races. So basically, if you put two identical cars side by side, one on regular asphalt while the other one on the side of the road, the second one will always have a higher top speed. C-type in 2013. In 2013, the car pool of GTA Online was many times smaller than it is now. There were very few high-end supercars to even choose from. The Truffaut Adder, the Overflowed Entity XF, and the Grotti Cheetah would have been most players' first options, and you would logically think that one of them would have also been the fastest car in the game. But in reality, it was the old C-Type. It's funny because the C-Type is based off a Bugatti car from the 1930s, making it an almost 80-year-old car in 2013. Although I do have to clarify that yes, while the C-Type might have had the highest top speed out of any car in the game, then it most often wasn't still the first option for many players because of its very poor handling at high speeds, an area in which the newer supercars were far superior. Fukaru. Fukaru is a Japanese in-game manufacturer of vehicle-related products. Amongst other things, they produce vehicle tires, different NO2 boost bottles, sponsor different racing teams, as well as are an official tire sponsor to the San Andreas Open Wheel Series Formula races. Funnily enough, the word Fukaru means fuck you with a Japanese accent. As I have learned Japanese myself for quite a few years, the Japanese don't have the letter C or K, instead they use the letter K, and there is a similar situation with U. They don't have any of these letters in their own alphabet, so they just use their own letter RU. Italy GTO Stinger TT. If you go to the Legendary Motorsports website, you cannot find any vehicles named the Italy GTO Stinger DT. The most similar name you will find is the Grotti Stinger DT. That's because the name of the car was actually changed after the car was released in 2023. To be honest, the name Grotti Italy GTO Stinger DT is a bit too long, and considering that there was already a car called the Grotti Italy GTO in the game, it was quite the right decision to remove the Italy GTO part from the name. Because, at least to me, other than both being Grotti vehicles, the Italy GTO and the current Stinger DT don't really seem to share too many similarities. Easter egg vehicles. In both GTA 5 and GTA Online, there are a ton of secret or so-called Easter egg vehicles that are only obtainable by completing some sort of hidden tasks, and which cannot be purchased in any other way. Some of them are easier to find and obtain, like the Vapid Sand King XL, while others take a ridiculous amount of time or just insane luck to unlock. And some of the vehicles have even been made unobtainable altogether by Rockstar Games themselves. Halloween special offers. The Halloween special offer vehicles were the first limited time offers on the Southern San Andreas Superautos website. Nowadays, this might not be anything too special, as Rockstar has removed many different vehicles from being purchasable altogether. But back in 2017, 2018 and 2019, players made sure to have enough money on Halloween to buy themselves the cool looking Halloween special offers, because if you didn't do so, you had to wait a whole another year to be able to purchase them again. Especially sought after was the Sanctus motorcycle, which was popular because of its really cool looking skull design and also quite a competitive performance against the other top tier motorcycles. Fast and Furious vehicles. It doesn't come as a surprise for any one of us that in GTA Online there are vehicles loaned from different movie series. One of Rockstar's favorite movies to loan vehicles from is definitely the Fast and Furious franchise. The Annie's Elegy Retro Custom and the Tinka Chester with their identical liveries are perhaps the two most known examples. But the sheer amount of vehicles that have been directly loaned from the Fast and Furious franchise is indeed absolutely mind-blowing. The Banshee 900R, the Annie's CR350, the Karin Sultan Classic, the Ruiner 2000, the Ram Buggy, the Wastelander, the Pegassi Reaper, the Annie's Euros. The list goes on, and I'm sure you would find even more vehicles from the movie after further research. Tier 2. Vintage car brand logos. Car brand logos are not something that a majority of the players really ever turn their focus on. If I were to give a random logo of one of the car manufacturers, for most players it would be quite hard to guess which car brand it represents. That's why even less people know that in the game there are also many different older manufacturer logos represented around the map. For example, the vintage Benefactor logo was not the iconic metallic one that is on most vehicles nowadays, but also consisted of the light blue color all around it. The same story goes for most of the bigger car companies in the game. Pegassi, Übermacht, Grotti, Pfister, all of them have their older versions of the brand in the game. Haas Street Races. Haas is best known for his HSW shop at the LS Car Meet. He has also worked as a mechanic at the Airport LSIA. Other than that though, in GTA 5 story mode, there are also street races that are led by him as well. I just wanted to add these in here because for me, Haas Street Races are one of the most memorable parts of my childhood. Playing GTA 5 on my PS3, I didn't at the time have a chance to connect to internet, and as I only got to play the story mode, these street races somehow became my favorite activity in the entire game. Progen 2015. Progen is one of the very few car brands that was added to GTA 5 after its release in 2013. While all other brands had at least one car in the game from the beginning, Progen only entered the GTA universe during the Ill-Gotten Gains update with the fan favorite Progen T20. If you are a newer player, the T20 might seem like another random supercar in the game, and unfortunately it is almost impossible to describe to you the fanbase that the car had when it came out. Isaac Penny. Isaac Penny was a venture capitalist who planned to buy a major stake in the Vapid Motor company. He is also basically the only character in any GTA title ever that has been directly connected to the auto industry of the game, which is weird considering how massive and detailed the automotive world in GTA really is. Through his assassination, Franklin and Lester made a huge profit on the Bostock Stock Exchange.
So who the fuck don't you like today?
Guy's called Isaac Penny, ruthless vulture capitalist, about to take a controlling interest in Vapid Motor Company and sell thousands of workers down the river. Penny's one of those tight-fisted billionaires, rides the same bus to and from work every day. I was thinking he could take over the route and...
Drop the ass off where he needs to go. I got him.
Good. Oh, one thing. If I was you, I wouldn't buy any Vapid stock until the acquisition falls through.
OG money trucks. Money trucks are something that a few years ago Rockstar decided to add back to GTA Online. That of course came after a long support for this idea by the community. Originally, however, the money trucks were only available in GTA 5 single player. Back in the day, these were some of the most popular random events that got you up to $25,000 per truck. There were very few locations in which the money trucks spawned, and even then, the chance of them spawning was extremely low, so every time you did see them, it felt like a special occasion. Car dealerships. In Los Santos, there are a lot of brand dealerships across town. In Vinewood, there is a joint benefactor / Gallivanter dealership. In downtown, there is a Vapid dealership, while in South LS, we can find an Albany dealership. It's such a shame that these are not real operating brand dealerships. In my own opinion, the ability to actually use brand dealerships for different specific cars is a thing that Rockstar really missed out on in GTA 5. Just imagine how cool it would be to step into a Fister dealership to then go and buy yourself a Fister 811 or a Comet S2. I really do hope that in GTA 6 we will see these brand specific dealerships serve an actual purpose. Joint car brands. Joint car brands are something that Rockstar has done for very few and very similar real-life brands in the GTA universe. While most brands are represented by their completely unique brand in the game, then for example Rolls-Royce and Bentley are both represented by the Enus brand in the game. It is not known exactly why Rockstar decided to act this way, but we can assume that for most people Bentley and Rolls-Royce represent a very familiar look, therefore there was no need to separate them in the game. There are a few other brands in the game that include multiple real-life car brands under its name, like Pegassi, Overflöd or Grotti, but these do still very heavily represent one specific car brand and in general cannot exactly be called joint car brands. Car advertisements. Car advertisements are, in my opinion, something that are very much underappreciated in GTA Online. Whenever a new car comes out, especially as a trip feed vehicle, there is a very high chance Rockstar has created an advertisement to go along with it. And most often, just like the brand itself, the advertisements have the same kind of a style that its real-life counterpart brand uses in their own marketing. Just take a look at these Übermacht / BMW commercials, or these huge blank white area Fister / Porsche commercials, or even these minimalistic and clean Grotti / Ferrari advertisements. This is a small but very subtle detail that makes the in-game brands feel and look authentic, so thank you Rockstar for this cool detail. Tier 3. The disobey advertisement. Flying or driving around Los Santos, you may come across this advertisement. At first sight, it might look like a regular Übermacht car ad. However, behind this facade is actually hidden an extremely clever wordplay. You see, in real life, BMW and Audi are perhaps each other's biggest competition. The same thing goes in the GTA universe, only here Audi is indeed called Obey, and the clever wordplay disobey is clearly taking shots against Übermacht's fierce German rival. This advertisement is actually an Easter egg to BMW and Audi's real-world entertaining marketing, a strategy where they always try to one-up each other with sarcastic and true-meaning sentences. Some players have even gone as far to link this automotive rivalry with the relationship between Michael and Amanda. Amanda representing Übermacht with her Sentinel XS, while Michael represents Obey with his iconic tailgater, both being stuck in a similar, sarcastic and often two-faced relationship, just like Übermacht and Obey. Strip Weathers. Strip Weathers, also known as the King, is a car in the Cars movie franchise. He was known as the most successful race car in the history of the Piston Cup. In GTA Online, Rockstar added his livery to the Gauntlet Classic muscle car. However, this is not actually the first car that Rockstar created after the King. The first car was actually the Imponte Phoenix, and although there are no such liveries to this car, there's two reasons why this is most likely the case. First off, if we take a look at the spoiler sizes of both the Phoenix and the Gauntlet Classic, it is instantly obvious that the Phoenix has its spoiler way more in proportion with strip weathers than the Gauntlet Classic. But secondly, and perhaps more importantly, please just take a listen to the engine sounds of both the Phoenix in-game and strip weathers in the Cars movie. These are basically one-of-one copies of each other, therefore the Imponte Phoenix is actually the original strip weathers in GTA 5, the Pegassi Faggio. The Faggio is one of the most iconic trolling vehicles in GTA Online. However, it's also the only vehicle which has its manufacturer changed after GTA 5's release. When GTA 5 came out, it was first called the Pegassi Faggio. However, in the very first GTA Online Beach Bum update, the manufacturer was changed to Princip. What makes it even weirder is that the in-game text still refers to it as the Pegassi Faggio, and the newer Faggio Sport and Faggio Mod models are also still presumably manufactured by Pegassi. So why change the manufacturer of the regular Faggio on the southern San Andreas side to Princip? I guess we will never know. The Sentinel Tuning Division. The Sentinel Tuning Division, or the STD, is a company that specializes in tuning different Übermacht vehicles, mainly the Sentinel and Scion lineups. They are the only such brand-specific tuning department in the entire game, and while most players see their tuning parts similar to that of the BMW M division in real life, the brand seems to take a lot of inspiration from the Subaru Technica International, a motorsport-specific subdivision for the Japanese manufacturer Subaru. The fact that these tuning parts are only possible to be installed in LS Customs after you have already purchased an Übermacht has made it questionable if the STD is really a subdivision of Übermacht, or is it in fact an aftermarket company completely separate from the Übermacht brand. If I had to guess, my money would be on the second option. Coil Arms Division. The Coil Arms Division is a subdivision of the Coil Company, a company best known for their vehicle manufacturing. Other than a few clothing items and other small ads, the Arms Division is not really presenting themselves too much in Los Santos. Nonetheless, they are the biggest weapon manufacturers in the state of San Andreas. They are the ones producing the Combat BDW, the compact EMP launcher, the regular minigun, as well as the 7.62mm one, the railgun, the stun gun, and even the Ganjali tank cannon. Coil is owned by Avon Hertz, which has created the theory in the community that the Arms division was created to supply weapons to the army that was supposed to take over the world with Avon on top of it. However, there is no real proof of this theory whatsoever. Grotti Showroom. The Grotti Showroom was a car dealership back in Liberty City, and unlike the GTA 5 dealerships, this one was in fact a completely running and working one with a unique interior and vehicle lineup. Not only could you steal Grotti vehicles from inside the showroom, the dealership was included in the Lost and the Damned gameplay, where you had to drive through the showroom with motorcycles.
Shit! We're all closed in! Take out them showroom windows, man!
Let's all hope that Rockstar learns from their mistakes they made with GTA 5 and takes inspiration from their older GTA 4 title to create the open world stores of GTA 6. Mammoth Jets. Mammoth is a vehicle manufacturer that, at least for me, is most known for their production of the Mammoth Patriot. Whilst they are mainly a car manufacturer, the same exact company is behind the design and production of the Hydra, the Raju, the Avenger, the Jetpack and the Tula. This also makes them a major military industrial company in San Andreas, and judging by their lineup of aircrafts, it seems like it is only because of this company that we have VTOL mode even existing in GTA Online, as all aircrafts with VTOL mode are produced by this one single company. Lamar at the LS Car Meet. Back in summer of 2021, Rockstar released the Tuners DLC. With it came the addition of the LS Car Meet in East Los Santos. If you have ever wandered around there, you might have come across the exact same Emperor that Lamar has driven at least since 2013, with his signature license plate also on the car. Judging by the fact that Lamar already knew how back in 2013, it shouldn't come as a surprise that he is sometimes seen there visiting his friend. However, the Easter egg was actually added as a teaser for the Contract DLC that was to come out just after that in December of 2021. This was also not the first or only time that Rockstar has teased characters to us like that. A similar subtle teaser was created for El Rubio, who appeared in the Los Santos Summer Special missions before appearing in the Cayo Perico heist, as well as Dr. Dre, who was teased for us a year in advance during the Cayo Perico heist before making an appearance during the Contract DLC. Benefactor Art. In the Diamond Casino, there is an option to customize your penthouse with different artifacts completely to your own liking. And if you are a big fan of Benefactor, you can actually decide to add a painting of the Benefactor's logo onto your penthouse walls. A cool and subtle thing to do when you want to let people know which car you most likely have sitting in your penthouse garage down below. Tier 4. Real Life Bravado Banshee. The Bravado Banshee is without a doubt one of the most legendary sports cars in the GTA universe. It was first added to GTA 3 and has ever since then reappeared in every single one of the GTA titles. So, when GTA 5 was to come out, Rockstar decided to pay respect to their iconic car by creating a Banshee in real life. For that, they teamed up with West Coast Classics, the very same tuning shop that LS Customs has been created after, and with their professional help, the first and only real-life Banshee was born. The car was meant to be a giveaway between all players who had purchased themselves a GTA 5 copy. It was ultimately won by a 56-year-old grandmother whose son had purchased GTA 5 with her credit card, making her the legal owner of this car. However, not very long after, the family decided to sell this car, putting the money towards the children's college education. Since then, the car has switched owners multiple times, making an appearance in a TV show called Better Call Saul and a celebrity car museum in Missouri. Rockstar also included the Banshee into the GTA 6 trailer with the same exact colorway, so it seems like the tradition is not dying anytime soon. Maipatsu Factory. The Maipatsu factory is located in La Mesa and is to this day the only real automotive production facility in Los Santos and also San Andreas for that matter. It's interesting to think that if you do decide to purchase yourself a Maipatsu vehicle, the very same vehicle was also then produced in Los Santos. The building has also been included into the mission Factory Closure in GTA Online, where Martin Madrazo tasks our online character to steal a truck full of new motorcycles that have presumably just come out of production from the factory. Übermacht Cranes. Übermacht is most well known for producing high-end sports cars, which makes it even weirder to find their logo on different cranes around construction sites. This isn't a new thing as well, as other than Los Santos, the cranes of Liberty City also wear the Übermacht logo on them. There doesn't seem to be an exact reason to why Rockstar decided to make the cranes Übermacht branded, as in real life BMW does not have any correlation with cranes whatsoever. Pfister Design. Pfister Design is a subdivision of the Pfister car company that focuses on the fashion side of the brand. Pfister Design is created after the Porsche Design subdivision in real life. In real life, the company's whole point is to make it look like owning a Porsche is a lifestyle rather than a regular car purchase. In Los Santos, Pfister tries to create a similar feeling by selling their jackets and shirts across clothing stores in San Andreas. They even have two flagship stores, both located in Rockford Hills. However, like always in GTA 5, they are not actually interactive clothing stores. Grotti logo change. The Grotti logo change is something that players noticed in the first GTA 6 trailer. For context, ever since the Grotti logo was introduced to us in GTA San Andreas, the logo has changed every single time that a new GTA title has come out. While in GTA San Andreas, Grotti was represented by this rabbit, then in GTA 4 they switched to a sitting horse. And finally, in GTA 5, they yet again switched to this more modern looking logo. So every 5 to 10 years or so, Grotti has decided to switch their logos completely. Now, what used to contradict that was the fact that older cars, like the Grotti Cheetah Classic, still had the new logo from 2013 onwards emblemed on them, which wouldn't really make any logical sense. But with GTA 6, Rockstar seems to have fixed the issue. The Grotti Cheetah Classic is a car that was produced up until 1992, so up until the same time that GTA San Andreas was canonically taking place. Now, in GTA San Andreas, as we already know, the logo was a standing rabbit, the exact same logo that now finally seems to be on the Grotti Cheetah Classic in GTA 6. Yet again, a very small little detail that was forgotten in GTA 5, but which seems to be corrected now in GTA 6. Tinka Boat Engines. Tinka is known as the in-game manufacturer of Honda cars and motorcycles. What most people don't know is that they also produce the Tinka Marquis sailing yacht. And yet again, in the GTA 6 trailer, it was revealed that Tinka will also enter the game as a major boat engine manufacturer. This is a reference to the Honda Marine engines that the car company also produces. Shitsu Air Conditioning. Shitsu is another Japanese vehicle manufacturer in the game that, other than cars or motorcycles, produces other electrotechnical hardware. In Shitsu's case, they produce air conditioning that can be seen on rooftops around Los Santos. Shitsu is the in-game Suzuki company, and the air conditioning is a reference to Suzuki's long history in also producing the aircons. Capture license plate. In 2014, with the Capture Missions update, Rockstar created a community contest in which players had to come out with their own capture maps. They even included a 23-page PDF file which described exactly how to create a good capture map. The winners of this contest were given $1 million in-game dollars, but more importantly, the exclusive capture license plate. There were only 4 winners in total, out of which one has nowadays been banned from GTA Online, which makes this capture license plate by far the rarest item in the entire GTA universe. NOS vehicles. In 2014, there was an exploit to make your cars go extremely fast using the same boost that you would get at the start of different races. Only that this exploit allowed the players to constantly and endlessly use the same boost in free mode lobbies. Because of this insane speed boost, players started calling the glitch the NOS exploit. However, this was patched by Rockstar Games quickly after the community found it. Tier 5. El Rubio Semerus. When you think of El Rubio, fast supercars might not be the first thing that comes to mind. However, if you do decide to look around in his office, you can find a picture of him in a dealership with none other than Simeon Yatarian purchasing himself a Progen Emerus. Now, this is weird, considering that according to himself, he was not allowed to really travel because of Interpol.
I will come see you in Berlin, only I can't really travel right now, huh? Global Pol sucks ass. I swear, man, you have no idea.
Penny's business license. Penny's original Motorworks was introduced to the game back in 2015, which means that in the GTA timeline it actually took place in early 2013. However, according to the business license issued by the City Council of Los Santos, Penny's original Motorworks already existed in 2005, meaning that it wasn't all of a sudden just randomly opened in 2013, rather it was then just introduced to us. Astone. Astone was the original name that was supposed to represent Aston Martin vehicles in GTA. For some unknown reason though, was changed from that to Debauchee just before the launch of Grand Theft Auto 4. Nonetheless, the car models for the game were already created and the name Aston stayed on the back of the Debauchee Super GT sports car. The name is most likely an ironic take on how many people falsely pronounce the name Aston Martin. Heavy metal. There are 2 heavy equipment production companies in GTA 5. One is called HVI, that produces the likes of the Insurgent, different military vehicles, airport vehicles, and even machinery as far as to the Cayo Perico Island. The other heavy equipment manufacturer is called MTL, which produces the likes of the Brigade, the Fire Truck, the Wastelander, and the Pounder trucks. Together, these 2 names make up HVI MTL, aka heavy metal, most likely a reference to the widely popular music genre in the blue-collar world. Bravado Government Bailout. Bravado Government Bailout is an Easter egg which can be found on one of the advertisements for Bravado vehicles. According to this, the US government bailed out the Bravado vehicle company, most likely during the 2008 recession, in hopes of keeping the car industry of the US afloat. A similar lore has been created for the lesser-known car company Schister, which is the in-game Chrysler. The company's stocks are for sale at the Bossag Stock Exchange. In the description of it, it says owned by Germans, bailed out by the Americans, clearly referencing another bailout by the government, as well as Mercedes' parent company's purchase of the Chrysler brand back in the 2000s. Both car companies are also described as mid-range and subpar manufacturers, which is kind of true considering that either of those companies really don't make the best cars in the game. Cursed license plates. Cursed license plates is a glitch that is actually in the game to this day, and there is a very specific way that some vehicles' license plates got hit by this exact curse. You see, it used to be that you could create your own custom license plates through the iFruit app for your in-game vehicles. However, in 2022, the iFruit app was closed down, and for a while there was no way to create your own custom plates anymore. That's until Rockstar reintroduced the feature to their social club website. However, if you go to make a license plate in the social club for a car that to this day holds a custom license plate created all the way back in the iFruit app, the game just does not let you change it in any of the LS Customs garages, meaning that if your car still holds one of your OG custom license plates, it unfortunately will be stuck with it for an eternity. Rally di Palito. Rally di Palito was a rally held in the forests of Palito Bay all the way back in 1979. There isn't much known about the rally itself, which has only increased the interest behind this mysterious event, not just in Reddit forums, but players have even tried to reimagine what the rally might have looked like back in the late 1970s. There are two cars that have been confirmed to have taken part of the rally, one being the Fagaloa, the second one being the Brioso, as both cars have the Rally di Palito livery option. However, I myself would like to add another theory to this. The race took place in the late 1970s, which is the exact same time that the rally cars in game like the Obey Omnis and the Tropos rally also started coming out of the factories, and considering that fact, I think it is very likely that these back then new rally cars were also competing in the series and possibly even winning the rally. Anyways, this concludes our entire GTA Automotive Iceberg. If you yourself would like to add something to this information, definitely do so in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.